Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an IS-2 shielded. It's a Tier 7 Soviet premium heavy tank. It's located on the north spawn of mines, and it's under the command of Razmalian Beilov of the NUKEE clan. Game on! Well, from the fact that you can see a muzzle brake at the end of this barrel means that it's the 122mm main gun, capable of doing 390 alpha and penetrating 175mm of armor with standard shells, and with the APCR that goes up to 217. With the HE rounds he's capable of 530 alpha but only 61mm of pen. Now this is a tank that was actually built in 1944. It was a modification of a standard IS, but basically with extra armor all around. It had a simple cast glacis, and this tank was actually given to the Guards regiments, because of course they were the assault regiments, the regiments that would go in against the German tanks and take the most damage. So they were given the best tanks to help them survive, plus to do the most damage to the enemy when they got spotted. Well, he muffed his first shot and took around an 88mm round, a low roll from the VK3001P. But the 3001 is not looking at him at the moment, so I think he can do a fair bit of damage. Now the shielding bit was because they recognised that if you actually had, and he auto-aimed that one on, they recognised that if you actually used shields, that it would actually block some of the heat rounds, and that's a bit risky. He's also aiming on. He took an 88mm round. He should have actually just pulled back, but he's distracting that guy. He didn't wait until he was loaded before he shot, but he does that time, and oh, he's ammo racked him. Yep, blew up his ammo rack. So he's taken 3 rounds, lost a fair bit of hit points, but he's got his first kill. And now he's going to do these guys. That's a 75mm main gun. And he gets around and he gets a high roll for 420 off that one. Now they actually built 3,854 of all the models of IS-2. And they produced them during 1943 to 1945 actually. It's got a 12-cylinder V2 engine. That's the diesel engine that they put in most of their tanks. And it can actually do about 37 kilometers an hour maximum speed. Now, okay, yeah, he had a bit of trouble there. The Viz 44-1 pulled back and actually blocked him when he was trying to get shots on the enemy. Now, what have we got going on here now? Well, the 122 does generate a lot of credits, but if you play it like this, you're going to lose a lot of hit points. Now, he did get that penetration on the OI. You can see that these guys are generally getting pens on him. That guy's just blocked us. That's the M4, isn't it? The M445. It's Tier 7 game with Tier 6 tanks in it. And that M445 is asking for trouble for doing that. But, okay, Razmalian's going to go down and support him. And he's told him he's doing it, which is good. But now he's got to use the rock face to actually block shots and block those shots using his tracks. Okay, he fired that one in, but it didn't go in, and he's taken damage as a result. Yeah, and so he's got to be careful. He's trying to trying to get a mission done at the same time. You can see he's struggling to get the hit points he needs, and didn't get that one on the KV2. And unfortunately, the M445 has expired. Now, he should have a shot on the KV2 now. Yep, got him. And the OI goes down, and now we're 5 up on the enemy. They've only got 1 tank down at the bottom of the hill. It's the M2Y. And remember, we know that he's got a 75mm main gun. So we can definitely do some damage to him, but we only need to drive up behind him. There's only 6 left on the enemy team. They do have tank destroyers somewhere in the rear, as well as their Arty. The light tank's out on the west. The T-34-85's out on the west, and the KV-13's on the island. In fact, the T-34 and KV-13 are out there. So the only tank that was over here was the M2Y, so it's just the tank destroyer now. And in fact, it's the Hellcat. There he is. He's been spotted. We'll just shoot through the wall. Shoot through the wall with a standard AP round. And that Hellcat is immediately pulling back. Okay, so we might as well just drive straight towards the Hellcat. And it will force the T-3485 and the others to come back. In fact, the T-52's over there as well. It looks like Razmalian's decided to go for him. And the Hellcat has gone. The M4A376 Wet managed to get that one. So we're going to get sniped at by the T-52. They've lost their Arty. Yep, there's the T-3485. He's pulled back. Now, we're having trouble with the dialing in, but we do get the kill. That hits the engine. And so it's the T-52 who's trying to snipe at us, but he's not getting much out of it. Okay, the KV-13. That's interesting. He looks like he's got the 100mm gun, or maybe he's actually got something bigger than that, because he's got 360. It may be he's actually got a 122mm, but the not with the muzzle brake. You can fit that to the KV-13. Okay, we're going after the KV-13. It's the last one on the enemy team. It's going to take at least 2 shots to kill him, but the M4A3 is popping up behind him right now. Oh, everyone's swarming around this KV-13. And now he's a one-shot for us. Type 64 wants him. He'll take him with 1 shot if he gets through, and he does. And in fact, it's the M4A376 Wet who gets the kill in the end. And that's a victory. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the second-class tanker for Razmalian Beilov of NUKEE in the IS-2 Shielded. He managed to get a demolition expert because he blew up the VK3001P, hit the Amarak. He also got a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points for his own vehicle, Duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, Bruiser Medal for getting at least 5 critical hits, in fact he got 6, and he got a Hand of God because he survived the battle and received damage from at least 4 different enemy tanks in that game. In fact, they all had a go at him because they knew that he had the 122mm gun, and they knew that he was capable of 390 alpha in a tier 7 with tier 6 game, so he could do a lot of damage to the enemy. And of course, so they were all targeting, but you noticed they were actually trying to target his upper plate, which is a bit of a mistake because the upper plate is cast and it's very strong. The lower plate is where you need to aim, and of course somebody did aim down there and put a high caliber round in there. And he also got a Spartan medal when he received a non-penetrating ricocheting shot, as well as a steel wall for blocking the most damage in the game, at least 11 hits and surviving. His win rate was 3,928, which is Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at the team score and see where he came. Well, he did get the highest damage, but he didn't get 20% of the enemy hit pool, and that's why he didn't get the high caliber. 2,118 went to Razmalian Beilov. Second highest damage actually went to the Viz-44-1 on his team, who got 1,694, followed by the KV-13 on the enemy team. He got 1,674. I'm pretty sure that guy actually did have the 122mm gun. You can fit a 122 on this one, and it's pretty deadly because he did take a shot or blocked a shot for 300. And so, yes, that's more around either it's a 100mm or it's the a low roll on a 122. Anyway, when it came to kills, we can see the high scorers were Razmalian and also the RL44. Both had 3 kills apiece. 2 kills went to the Type 64 and the M4A376 went. Nobody on the enemy team managed to get more than 1 kill, and only 4 tanks actually got kills at all in the game. 997 was the highest base XP. That went to Razmalian as well. In fact, that means that he's got the top in all 3 columns. 997 to Razmalian, 947 to the Type 64, and 906 to the Viz-44-1. He fired 11 rounds, got 9 direct hits, 6 penetrations, 2,118 hit points of damage, of which 353 were done at more than 300 meters. And I believe that was the shot that he fired at the T-3485, but I may be wrong. The rest were all done at close range. 15 hits received from the enemy, 5 of them penetrated, 8 non-penetrations, and 2 hits by way of splash damage. He blocked 1,125 hit points in total. He spotted 1 enemy vehicle, damaged 5 of the enemy, killed 3, and he earned 67,666 credits on a free-to-play account, including a 30,000 mission completion bonus. And he also took away 2,625 experience points out of that game as well. So a good game there by Rasmalian. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like, and thank you for watching.